Okay, so we're back for more story missions. I have unlocked mission 5, but I wanted to go back to mission 4 because there were some other things I wanted to play with and some other stuff I wanted to talk about and kind of reflect on. I think I'm going to put this in the Explains playlist as well, because there's going to be more talking about how Factorio works and how combat works and things like that, even though it's not really going to be an explains. It's more going to be sort of a discusses slash speculates. Like explains implies I know what I'm talking about, and that's not necessarily the case here. But yeah, so this is the second time I played through this mission. I've kind of done the first kind of half about the same. Did the 3 bases, went to the other 2 north and south warehouses. That was all, like, one of the other reasons I wanted to try this again was to see how the replayability stacks up, given that it's a story mission, and because each of these bases are small enough to have pretty much, like, you find a good way in and then you can just go in that way, and these other little puzzles don't really connect to each other in any way that would mean that, like, an easy way into this space doesn't change anything about how you approach this other base. And so the separability of those problems means that you can just take the small solutions for each of them and just go and do that thing. And, you know, sure, that's kind of how that works. It was definitely still fun to probe with these bases the first time through and find a weakness and then exploit that weakness. One of the things I wanted to do, and then the first time through for this large base, I guess spoilers if you haven't seen this mission, go and watch the one where I run this, like, from the beginning, and like, because this is pretty much going to assume familiarity with the rest of mission 4, if that wasn't already clear. There's this kind of ravine that leads to a less well defended entrance in the top, which is kind of cool, and that's the way I kind of stumbled into the first time, and then came back out the main gate, which is pretty well defended mostly. Wanted to try a couple of things. First of all, wanted to try going in the front gate, but without using the nuke, because, you know, that'll make all of this a whole lot easier. The other thing I wanted to try, thanks autosave, was, like, having a look what's at the south west corner of the space, and whether or not there's another way in there. Need to deal with these guys just quickly. And lots of cliffs. Okay, so still lots of cliffs. Although this road makes me think, like, there are a bunch of places where roads are signaling that a thing is going to or from a place of interest. Like, I think there was some down here by the rocket launcher facility as well, and that's nice. I like the way it does that. Which means I do want to look at this aerial. Though all of this is just cliffs. It's cliffs all the way out. Get my turrets back. And then these cliffs go all the way down into some fairly serious biter base that I probably could push through if I wanted to save scum this a bit. Like, this is small, still just small spitters. Small spitters, small and medium biters, bearmoth worms. Actually, especially with a rocket launcher, it's all completely pushable with a rocket launcher. This stuff is just easy, you could just push through that, no problem at all. But the thing is, there's still these other cliffs up here, so I don't even think that stuff is necessarily a way in. I didn't even notice that the first time. There's another rocket launcher here, and there's more weapons, and I only noticed that this time because of this blue dot that I happened to spot on the minimap when I was looking at whether or not these cliffs were solid. So that's cute. There's another little secret thing here that would make this a whole lot easier. So what have we got? We do have the rocket launcher. We've got a couple of rockets, some more clips, some more fuel. You know, that's kind of useful stuff, and you could loot that from this side, so I might. Especially as, like, the thing, this bit of wall here and this road makes me think that either it goes somewhere up here, but like a weird looping road like this would be weird, but also maybe there is, like, that might not actually be secure. And also the things I noticed driving past, these turrets don't have the green ammunition in them that the others do. These are doing just red ammo, no upgrades, and so I can probably just walk straight up here. Like, we can get rid of this guy, and walk down here, get rid of these guys. Actually, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so these other turrets have red ammo, no upgrades, and do like 10 bullets a second, 8 damage, so 80 DPS more or less. I haven't even got, like, there's still another couple of damage upgrades that I'm getting, that I'm in the process of getting. But my turrets are at the green ammo, which is, like, I've got like nearly a stack of this stuff. I've got a lot of ammunition. Is, 60 damage a bullet, more or less, 15 bullets a second. So that's what, 900 DPS, which is like quite absurd to be involved in, gun turret shootouts with other things and stuff like that. I guess that is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about, is that I don't actually feel that this mission has been resource constrained at all. Like, I feel like I've got so much more ammunition, and also such better quality ammunition, and pretty much all the tools, with the exception of the one quick rocket launcher, which is actually another way of getting that, because is there presumably, yeah, okay, so yeah, I can actually get through here. I can get this thing early, so now I've got an additional rocket launcher, which I probably won't use, but that's fine. There's some other gun turrets. But yeah, these, like, gun turrets, green ammo, Tech 2 shotgun shells, these things do such a high rate of damage that, like, you need them when you're fighting behemoth biters and stuff like that have ridiculous armor. Like, even these three laser turrets up here, just, and that was with me missing the ammunition micro on 2 of them. They're just, they're fast. It's good. So yeah, the answer is I do seem to be able to push in here without using the rocket launcher, which is cool. I wonder if I've got, that's probably going to be too, actually that probably won't be too close, because I don't want my turrets getting shot by their turrets, but I want their gun turrets in range of my lasers. Like, yeah, I watched a bunch of how Bugfixes did this stuff after I'd done each of these missions to see how their approach was different, and like, they, not so much on, I don't think it was so much on this mission, but definitely the mission beforehand, there was a lot more of this turret creeping, like leeching the power grid, stuff like that, and that's kind of one of the other main ways of getting in, which is cool, is, you figure out you can outrange these things with the laser turrets. The laser turrets you can depower, the flamethrowers you can just stay out of the range, all of that's kind of nice. Landmines also fantastic for opening doors. Also cut off their oil supply, so that's kind of nice. Do I want to? Yeah, let's do some sabotage. Yeah, so I'm basically in, I can see this guy running at me, and he shouldn't. Yeah, this is enough to be very much in the base at this point. And I don't even know that there's a couple of other turrets over there. I can probably find some places where I have range on these other ones. Like, does this, okay, except it's also within range of, I could have trolled him into destroying his own fuel tank. Sure. Yeah, like, that's nice. I like the alternative entrances. The other thing I wanted to try was just going in the front door without the nuke, like, and seeing how much there is for that. Oh yeah, but I should talk about, yeah, I kind of half talked about the resource constraints, and they didn't talk about the rest of it. Like, there are these other patches, and like this stuff that when Bilka was playing it, they were trying to figure out how they could mine these things, how do they get more resources, I think Nephrem's in chat had suggested putting a car next to one of the burner miners so it would mine into the car, and you're like, yeah, that's great. But and this is definitely resource constraint if I was trying to build a base. But given that I'm not actually trying to build a base, given that all I'm doing is like knocking over like specific bits of this other base, and I'm also just getting all of these weapon drops and ammunition drops just in crates around the place, like I've not really felt at any point that I was actually struggling for resources. I need to dodge all that stuff. Was a little slow to pick that up. Yeah, he's a Bethmoth worm. Sure, I probably didn't need the car anyway. This is probably one of the other things to mention though, is that like, oh yeah, because I couldn't mine the car anyway. I wouldn't be able to pick it up. Yeah, so this is one of the other things about this map, is that not being able to pick up the vehicles means you can't carry a backup vehicle with you. They're all just sitting, like these two cars are kind of ornate chests in the base, because you'll never use them, because you can't pick them up and take them with you, but also walking all the way back, and it's not a straight line because you have to go around and through the other biters, like that's also not a thing that's going to happen. And so like pretty much what you do here, if you cared about having this car, is just, you know, you'd reload a save. You'd never actually use those other two cars. As it is, I kind of don't need the car. And so what's the best way to go after? Yeah, I think we're going to do... Another thing that I only discovered much later is you can queue enemy buildings to figure out what their ranges are. Like I before I had a laser turret, I was trying to figure out what their ranges were. Once I got a gun turret, I was kind of hovering my gun turrets over their gun turrets to see like what they would shoot. But you can just queue their buildings and see where stuff is. So there's actually a bit of a dead zone in here. And so if I can deal with... So that laser turret, this substation guy, if I use... That's why I've got these things on the hotbar. Let's fire in... Did that get that substation? Yeah, so these guys are now depowered. Can I hit... Because if I can hit this laser turret... Okay, I need to do that a little more decisively, but I think that'll work. Like, the idea is, hit this laser turret with the explosive rockets, take out this substation, depower a lot of those other lasers, then I've got the flamethrowers, which have this bit of a dead zone. These two guys, I'm not going to be able to take out that substation with the rocket launcher, but I still can just, like, you know, run in and... Is that down? Yeah, so they're losing power, there's losing power, there's now... That is, I think, the only laser turret I actually have to worry about. And I reckon if I can sneak in here... Yeah. Like, the damage on these turrets is so good that I can just sneak in here and trash all these things. Can I put a turret up here? Again, it's getting attacked by one turret. Good for you, buddy. That's not going to work. Where else can I? Can I go up here? Got the flamethrower. Did not get the laser turrets, but they're also out of power anyway, which means now there's only the top side. And how do I want to approach the top side? So these lasers are more or less intact. I do want to save some explosive rockets for this laser turret to hit this substation and this laser turret to hit, well, this laser turret to hit these substations, because yeah, the substations only have like a fifth of the health of the laser turrets, so that is a much better use of the small number of rockets I have, but also the rocket launcher itself won't target the substation. But I think let's just... What are you doing? Nothing, because I even had the lasers, the personal defense lasers. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I've still not actually felt the need to go past just modular armor at all. It's just... Oh, I didn't need to worry about those ones. It's these ones I need to worry about. One health. Yeah, flamethrowers do a weird thing where you hit them with rockets and they nearly die, but then decide they don't want to. Yeah, the mission is described as hard, and there are definitely more tricks in this mission than there are in the first 3 missions. But I've never actually felt that I was in a point that I was threatened enough to need to save the game, even though I've got modular armor, even though there are Behemoth. Well, there's one Behemoth worm. Let's deal with the rest of these guys. You guys are still left. You've got, and also I think that's possibly just because by the time I've got these turrets, and by the time I've got all of this equipment, so those guys are now down. This one is no longer powered. This one is powered. This one is powered. Yeah, like I've got so many. The damage I can do at this point is so outrageous that it's kind of fine. So we can take all those guys out. Now I should be able to open up these doors. Oh, you're trying to DPS down my landmines. I have more landmines than that, and also I've just got these turrets, and they're just fine. Okay, so we can actually. Is this? I mean, I think I'm still pretty happy declaring that getting in here without the nuke is difficult, in the sense that you've got to know what all the tools that you have and what they do and what a good way is to use each of them, and still be fast with the turret micro and do things like, yeah, like I saw Bilka kind of scavenge laser energy from the opponent's grid as well to outrange these turrets, and stuff like that is, yeah, I think it's in the category of there's a lot of good tricks, and I don't want to be, yeah, there's a lot of good tricks that are good to learn that still teach you more about how the combat part of the game works. Okay, let's not put that in range of the Behemoth worm. I can repair this guy, that's fine. Yeah, like, I didn't think I knew before this that the range on the gun in the car actually outranges a turret. Like, that's not something I knew. That's only something I knew, I discovered when I saw Bilka do it. But yeah, so we're pretty much through the front of the space at this point. Let's go back to this rocket launcher because it's the way we've got range on these guys. We've got some of these guys over here. This guy. That was more rockets than I needed. And the thing is, like, one Behemoth worm isn't even something that really concerns me. Are there? Oh yeah, there's turrets over here. Because the thing. Let's actually get the rest of these turrets. Let's actually pay attention. Says, Behemoth worm done. Okay, even lost a bunch of ammo there and still don't care. I've still got a pile of it, and I've got much more of it I can pick up here as well. This is your fault. Because the thing about worms in Factorio is that they cover the ground in stuff that slows you down, but as long as you can dodge it, you're kind of fine. And the main threat of worms, like, seems to be in combination with biters, in that when you're going into, like, yeah, like this other base, I don't have it on radar anymore, but this other base down here that I was looking at, the worms mixed in with the biters means that, and also a lot of worms, means that a lot of the ground gets covered in spit. You have to try and dodge the spit. if you walk over the spit, then, I mean, you take a bit of damage, but that's not really a big issue. The big issue is you're slowed down, and then the biters catch you. And once the biters hem you in and prevent you from moving, that's when the secondary function of the worms of doing damage kicks in, because all the stuff lands on you and then you die. And that's, besides just complacency, how I most often die when I'm doing worm combat stuff. And so having one worm like this is fine, because you can still just like dodge tank it, put some turrets down, especially once I've got, you know, multiple turrets and green ammo. Even Behemoth worms just like, nope, like I can't even, I don't remember even how much health they've got. Is it 3,000 health? And I think if I had, come on here, put this stuff in here. Yeah, with these upgrades, I'm looking at, you know, 60 damage per bullet, say 15 shots per second, because that makes the math nice, is 900 DPS. I'm going over a large chunk of the armor because it's 60 damage per bullet. I've just noticed there's another one of these guys here. But yeah, there's definitely more tricks to this mission, but overall, if you're keeping your wits about you, it's completely viable, which I guess is kind of the point. Let's go deal with, have all these other turrets around the outside been dealt with? And I think I've done ones in the middle. Yeah, because even the Behemoth spitters are, you know, you walk up here, you go, you do that, and all the spitters are dead. Like, to be fair, this fast turret stuff, I haven't seen a lot of people other than me do that quite as quickly. I don't really want to go all the way around. So that's one of the other things to bear in mind, that like it might not be a great comparison. But let's landmine this stuff, because this is the next part of the mission. There's some stuff, yeah, that's fine. Do I want to take out, I don't really want to take out power grid. I think that, yeah, there was like one other main category, oh, let's open some doors again. There was one other main category of stuff to talk about, with, that was what I wanted, that was what I wanted. There it is. And I should just be able to drive. I'm pretty sure I've already done this main gate stuff, haven't I? Are these guys, yeah, they're all done. Yeah, I can just drive away, it's fine. Yeah, so don't need the nuke, which is nice. If you're careful and specific, there are ways to get through even the front gate with, you know, a variety of different tools. If you don't have the rocket launcher at all, then... Oh, this is a different kind of flamethrower, isn't it? Yeah, the tank flamethrower is different, it doesn't work the same way. Never mind, I'm not going to bother using it then. Yeah, you can force your way in kind of the back doors without even the rocket launcher, and even pick up another rocket launcher, so that's nice. Like, diverse ways of breaching a base, I reckon, are one of the ways that are going to make this interesting, because this still was interesting to just kick around the rest of the base and see what was there. The other there are a couple of other things we need to talk about with this mission, and the first one... Like, the first one is that the military commander is an idiot, but that's also fine. That can just, like, people... There are a lot of people like that in the real world. It's not a problem that you've got one military commander person who's making a bunch of bad decisions about firing out an artillery cannon without letting you build defenses. And in that way, it's like the you can't handcraft stuff, and you can't place buildings anywhere, and you can't even change recipes on things, or specifically force ingredients into particular assemblers, is kind of on theme with military leader guy being an idiot. Just like let the freelance do what they need to. But so that all's kind of fine. The thing is, this section still doesn't actually feel like we're under threat. I think when I was even playing through this the first time, yeah, this bit, I think I only got back to the base like 3 minutes into the next 5-minute timer. It was just, you know, not a thing I needed to really worry about defending at all, and I'm kind of defending it. Actually, let's pull this back a bit. Let's see how far the base gets. I think is this one mine? Okay, so it's getting some stuff done. So they've actually even managed to destroy a piece of wall immediately. Good for them. Okay, let's try to defend a bit then. Let's have some of these turrets, but not too many of them. Yeah, because one of the other things we found about, like, that became apparent in wave defense speedruns and also in beta battles, is that, like, a single wave tends not to break a factory. It's usually more like, you know, one wave breaks through and destroys a smelting lane or destroys some miners, and then you have to go and repair that stuff instead of whatever you were doing, and the production you lose and the opportunity cost of having to rebuild stuff is what makes you less well defended versus the other the subsequent attacks. And it's like one wave after the other after a third that eventually breaks a base, and one attack like this typically kind of doesn't. I'm just like kind of talking to myself at this point, like the manner whereby this stage of this mission feels yeah, exactly this bit. There are too many of them. We can't hold on. Are you sure, bro? I put down a couple of landmines and we're good. Like, these guys aren't even doing a whole lot of damage yet. This thing has 1 kill. This thing has 5 kills. I've got some more landmines, which I'll put down. That actually leads into the other thing that I wanted to talk about. Like, this contraption here is kind of cool, the way that it goes. You know, you can't actually choose the weapons you get. I've got more ammo in here. Yeah, you can't choose the weapons you get. You just have to drop things here. Like, if I drop all of this stuff in here, this is actually one of the exceptions where stuff will get cached. Like, it'll drift all the way around here and into here, and then I already had bullets in there. These guys are struggling with power? Sure, whatever. I guess because laser turrets are firing that they weren't expected to. Oh well. These guys will cache everything. Everything I've rolled past here will get up converted to green ammo, but most of the time what happens, like down here is a good one, if I put a bunch of steel in here, or even iron ore. It also works with iron ore because these things will pick up, yeah, these things will make steel, they'll pick up the stuff, we'll have resources floating through here, and then, oh, there's even more in there. I can't. How do you get chips? You get chips somewhere over here. Okay, sure, yeah. Like, this guy that makes the landmines that I want will pick up some of the steel, but then the rest of the steel gets turned into flamethrower fuel, which I don't necessarily want. And I also can't access these chests or access this thing, and can't put landmines in there. And so it's got this kind of nice thing of you just put your stuff here and it all rolls through, and then you have to figure out how to defend your base with the mix of stuff you get from these things, except it doesn't actually work. Like, the thing I can still do, and it's why I've got these things on the toolbar, is I can drop things here, and now they're just landmines. Like, I don't want to drop all of the steel because it'll roll past and go into the flamethrower fuel, which I don't need because I've got a lot of flamethrower fuel. But if I just want landmines, like, I can't put a box. Like, if I could place inserters, which I can't, I'm losing some part of the base. That's probably fine. Then I could just put steel and explosives in here, make a lot of landmines, have a lot of landmines to play with. Can't do that. Can't put any boxes anywhere else. Can't automate any of that stuff. Have to try and make do with, whichever clunky set of weapons I have, except that I can still straight up just put a bunch of things specifically on the belt that I want in front of the machine that I want and get a lot of landmines out. And I don't know how you would maybe with more direct insertion. I can't put a piece of steel directly into an inserter. But yeah, I don't know how you would look at doing this differently to force people to avoid the situation where people just get all the landmines they want, or in practice people can still choose whichever of the weapons they want if they have a little bit of time and patience and are prepared to do a thing that's kind of not much fun, which doesn't sound like it's a great way to be organizing things. Is this fine? Are these guys still fine? I've got more landmines. Let's put some more landmines down. I think there was... Yeah, landmines are pretty fantastic. I've even got more turrets. I haven't even put the turrets down yet. I've got more stuff. I think it might have been a Subnautica talk at GDQ about their design processes and decisions and stuff like that. And one of the things they said was, user feedback is great, but users don't know what to fix. How to fix a thing. But they're pretty good at saying when a thing needs to be fixed because it's not good. And this does not feel good. Why did you not take the thing? Why are you not taking explosives? This combination of I can get landmines if I want by this kind of nonsense, specifically just landmines, in this kind of annoying roundabout way, is not great. The fact that base is massively under threat, except it also kind of isn't. Oh, that was a thing I noticed a couple of times, wasn't it? Yeah, I think this is only a story missions mod thing to the extent that it might be down to map design, but I think all of this stuff of these guys not attacking and milling around and not getting much done is... Maybe this is a waypoint whereby these guys are collecting. I suspect it's more likely to be the way the bugs are trying to pathfind, and they might be trying to get to a position that's above these cliffs and can't, and so just collecting here or something. I like the idea of a less well defended side entrance that you then have to pay attention to. This guy's doing regular yellow ammo against a big biter. That's not going to work, guy. But yeah, something about the cliff geometry and all that kind of stuff just makes this is another of the things that is less great. Yeah, and then upgraded guns, green ammo, it's fine. I don't even need to leave all of those there. Yeah, so I think, so this section of the mission with this desperate defense that kind of isn't, and then this kind of forcing me to jump through hoops to get the weapons I want, but still... What do you need? You need explosives? Still letting me actually have exactly the weapons I want. And then also generally this mission as a microcosm, and in a wider sense of this is, of the 4 missions I've seen so far, this is the one that doesn't quite hang together as well as the others. Because this defense is not desperate and fleeting. The other thing is, maybe this is the point of it, that maybe another observation is that there's one wall here, and that's kind of nice for the tension of, if your one wall breaks, your base is forfeit. That's some nice tension in being a desperate last stand. The thing is, in order to balance that so it doesn't immediately fall over, you end up making this wall quite good, which means that we're never actually in any real threat. This is just super safe. Whereas if you had like a longer channel and layers of defense, then you could have outer walls falling. And if you had like 4 defensive bottlenecks, and the bugs were working their way through one and the next, and they were falling, maybe that's a thing. Like that's kind of got what we've got here, in the sense that, like, yeah, the order has been given to evacuate from a while ago. I haven't. It's fine. This is not a thing. This is safe. Yeah, these guys are still just pulling around doing whatever. Like, that's kind of what this is, in the sense that this is my first defensive line, and this is the base's second defensive line, except you can never actually use this one because you can't fall back to behind it before you've properly defended this one. So with this one taking all of the attention, like, this is the only place, and there's like this little bit, which is not as much in that with other complicated issues, but like this bit here is kind of the only bit I need to worry about fortifying. And I guess that's the thing about, like, I think if you're doing this with like 4 layers, like 4 distinct layers of walls, each like half a screen apart, and there was, something kind of similar to, no, I need to be on map view, to scroll all the way over there, yeah, something kind of similar to the way that this worked, but larger and with less stuff in each place and less compact and less well defended, then even if the inner layer was completely impregnable, if you'd lost the first 2, it might hang together a bit better when idiot military boss guy goes, all is lost, we have to retreat, because then you can still go, okay, I kind of see why he says that, because the first 2 layers have been breached and they're attacking the 3rd layer, and he's just bailing, whereas when there's only 1 layer that still hasn't been breached, and the guy is like, evacuate the train, evacuate, if it's all lost, then that kinda, it's one of the things that seems to fall a little bit flat. I think that, let's take one of these cars, let's get everything out of this thing. Give me all your stuff back. Rocket fuel powered car. Yeah, so this thing is open. I think when I had the tank and they gave the order to evacuate, I just drove straight up here, like, and it was fine. And the tank just goes through the walls. I think when Bilka was doing it, there was like, why is this gate not open for me? And was having a bit of issues with that, and then went all the way around. Because your landmines won't go off because it's a friendly wall, right? Like, pretty sure it's a friendly wall. Like, this won't open these gates. But the thing is, the combat shotgun is so good that we can just open these gates. Like, combat shotgun, tier 2 ammo, does not actually take very long. Like, that's a much larger hole than I needed, and now we're through. Like, I think what this is supposed to be about is you're supposed to realize, and like, should I feel bad about blowing a hole in my own gate? Not really, we're abandoning the base. It's fine. Like, yeah, I think what that gate is supposed to be about is you're supposed to realize that's closed, wander all the way down here, have a look at the other base that you, like, weren't allowed in, and they're doing some stuff. Actually, is there... This is kind of the next question, is like, why... Like, I get for theme purposes why you wouldn't let people into this base. But the thing is, there's nothing here that I'm super impressed about having that would make the mission a whole lot easier. Like, okay, so I can get more inserters in belt. I could place... okay, yeah. Because if I could get in here, I could get one of these inserters, and I could do the thing with the landmines that would let me build exclusively landmines. So there's that. I guess. I was just trying to... Because it doesn't give you necessarily any more weapons. It gives you a lot of stuff, but you also can't handcraft them. I guess you could craft... You could craft combat robots with the copious red ammo around and all these chips and stuff. And maybe with... Yeah, there might be some tricks you could do. Actually, you're not going to be able to get these things because you're probably not going to be able to get into the chests. But you could still scoop this stuff off the belts. But yeah, about this gate. Yeah, this gate. So this gate starts off closed. Okay, they both start off closed. This one opens to let you through. This one is still closed. And so I think Bilka did this as well. Wander down here, go, oh no, there are nests in the base. What am I to do? Have a look at the rest of the base that's around. But the thing is, this is still... It's like a decent amount of mediums, but I've only got 2 guns at this point. We'll see. Yeah, it's fine. I do a lot of damage. So yeah, we can clear these things out. I mean, this is even with the 2 turrets I had and a bunch of ammo. I mean, I probably could even, like, this isn't even with the tank that I had. And that all would, like, I do have 1 solar-powered personal defense laser, but this is not adding a large amount of damage. There's like 40 damage per laser, 1.5 lasers per second, 60 damage short. These guys are doing, 900 damage each. More than that now. I haven't actually finished the research yet. That other piece of research is clicking through. Okay, so now the idea is, we was talking about the gate. We're still talking about that gate. You clear out those bases, you run through here, and I think the point of this gate is that when you get over here, the biters have gone through that bit of the base and are now attacking these doors. And so when they break through, you've got another little bit of tension of, now you've got to get the train out while these biters are breaking through. But the thing is, can't actually see it because I don't have radar coverage over it. It's still fine. Like these guys are. Oh, he's run out of ammo. Good job, you. 30,000 damage dealt. 15,000 damage dealt. Yeah, giving away this much green ammo is still just like a lot more than I really need, especially with the way those upgrades work. But anyway, I can't mind that. Give me this back. Because the other thing that kind of struck me that was a little interesting is, like, you drive off on this train, and it's like, keep the train alive, and you're going, this could either be an annoying escort mission, but the fact that I'm driving the train makes it not an annoying escort mission. It's just like an extra bit of like Indiana Jones running away from the ball stuff, and like, also this is another place they come through here. Okay. I mean, if I said these turrets are really good, so that's pretty fine. Oh, you're attacking that stuff. Okay. I'm not super concerned. I've even saved the artillery turret. But yeah, the next thing that struck me is, like, I could go even faster if I get rid of this fluid wagon, because the fluid wagons are kind of heavy. Another autosave, thanks. I'm nowhere near the... Okay, because I remember when I was actually doing this kind of seriously, there's like another bit out to the right that I can't scroll to at the moment, where it kind of looks like there's a bridge down, and was hooning along the train. I was on manual mode, went through the station, stopped immediately because the train track stopped, and like didn't quite notice that I was past the station. Was kind of expecting go to like, I mean, I say the edge of the map. The edge of the map is also only horizontal or vertical. It's only horizontal and only in tiled maps. I don't know that you can have like a vertical edge to a map in the large X direction. I don't know if that's a thing. But was out there, was looking at this disconnected piece of rail track and thinking, like, do I need to landfill this? How do I get more? Do I need to build rail from somewhere? I don't think I can handcraft that. And then noticed I'd gone past the station, and then was kind of in the process of backing up the train to pull into the station on automatic mode, expecting that to be the end of game trigger, except the fact that this is turned up now makes me think it's actually on a timer. Because I am nowhere near the station. Like, there's no way I've hit that station trigger, because it's all the way over to the right, and I can't scroll because the mission's ended. But yeah, the idea was shoot out the fluid wagon, you'll go faster. These guys breaking through is kind of interesting, but also still have the guns, so that's fine. Yeah. I think, like, the main observation, I guess, is that, like, there's attacking the small bases, which is cool. There's attacking the large base. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. That's cool. The weapon selecting, yeah, the ammunition selecting thing feels a little bit jank in that it's trying to force me to do a thing, but I can still get around it in a way that just makes it a little annoying. And I think overall, like this video, maybe this mission doesn't quite know how to end properly.